Okay, so we're back again. Another video about the housing market, just homes in general. Boy, this is rough for millennials. What we're going to talk about today is how millennials and Gen Zers just will not be able to afford homes with the way that it's looking. What you can do to maybe be able to afford a home or be in the position to get one. We're going to take a look at a couple of things, articles, and this tweet. I go back to my boy here, who I've been citing a lot. Unusual Whales. The median age of a U.S. homebuyer now sits at a record high of 61 years per NAR. 61 years. 61. Like, dude. Okay, so this is one of the U.S. homebuyers. This is the median age, 61, and we're talking about 50-year home loans. Okay, man. Like, all right. Let's get some more information on this, because when I first read this tweet, I was like, dude, there's no way that this is really a thing. And so I decided to do some research on it. NAR, you know what that stands for? National Association of Realtors. So first, let's go get the information about 61-year-old. And I'm going to show you right here. It says the first-time home buyer market share decreased to a historic low. And mind you, this article, if you look at this article, this is from 2024. I'm going to show you the 2025 highlights, but this is from 2024. I don't know how highly reported on this was. Historic low of 24%, down from 32 in 2023, while home buyers' age hit all-time highs of 56 years old overall. 56, 38 for first-time home buyers, and there's the number 61 years old for repeat buyers. So the 61-year-old statistic, was from last year. Like, this is rough. First-time home buyers, 38. So again, do the math here. First-time home buyers, 38. You got a 50-year loan. You pay your loan off when you're 88 years old? And I had a couple people in the comments telling me, well, you know, your house goes up. Most people don't stay for the full term of their loan. Okay, but I'm just telling you how it is. Some people don't just move every 10 to 12 years. Some people do like to just stay in their houses and, you know, build equity and not be in debt, but that's a story for another day. Let's see what the statistics are a year later in 2025. Here's the profile of home buyers. We're going to go through this list. The housing market is increasingly split between extremes. Equity rich and all cash buyers are at an all-time high, while cash-strapped first-time buyers are at a record low. So in a year, nothing has improved. It's only got worse. First-time buyers sink to an all-time low. We read last year it was 24. Now it makes up just 21% of the market, the lowest share since this began tracking back in 1981. Buddy. This is rough. So, record high of all cash home buyers. So that means that people who are rich, they're just paying the whole home right then and there with nothing but cash. It's a record high, averaging 26% over the last year. So what do you think is happening in that case? What's happening is that people who are not able to afford their homes end up selling their homes or losing them, and then cash-rich buyers come in, they buy it up. You know what they do? They rent it to other people. Think about that. Higher down payments. Down payments continue to rise for both first-time and repeat buyers, reaching levels not seen in decades. In 2025, the median down payment among all buyers was 19% to 10% for first-time home buyers, 23% for repeat buyers. That marks the highest median down payment for first-time buyers since 1989, the highest repeat since 2003. Personal savings remain the most common source for down payment funds among first-time buyers. So that's good news, first-time buyers, okay, they're saving money. Real estate agents remain essential. Hey, that's good. You don't have to worry about AI coming and getting you. For sale by owners hits a record low. Now think about this. For sale by owner hits record low. Why? Because interest rates back in 2020, 2021, interest rates, you get a 3% interest rate. Now, for the last 3-4 years, you're getting 6 to 7%. 6 to 7% on your loan. So people who got 3% loans, why would they sell? There's no incentive. And you got prices going up. So, you really got to think about that. Let's go back to the article. Repeat buyers are flexing their financial power. And number 7, because I don't even want to get to that one. Number 7, fewer households with children are buying homes. The share of buyers with children under 18 has dropped to a historic low, just 24%. Now, this is real easy to figure out because you'll see, people, why aren't folks having kids, this, that, and the third? Did you know, this is another video for another day, but did you know that the average price of childcare is about $2,400 per month? That's more than a lot of people's mortgages. So what's happening is because housing has become unaffordable, people are not even having kids. So again, we continue to see downturns. Here's a couple more things from this article. Home buyers and sellers are getting older. The median first-time age of buyers is 40, while the repeat buyers are 62. Sellers following the same trend. The typical age of home sellers is 64, the highest ever recorded. This coincides with separate NAR data earlier this year that showed that baby boomers, those between the ages of 60 and 78, are the largest share of both home buyers and sellers, moving markets more than younger generations, often due to a better financial position. The whole economy is just throwing young people out. Like, no home ownership, no kids, no jobs. This is rough. And this next reason is why I'm not a big fan of, some of the comments saying, why would someone stay in their house 30 years or 40 years or 50 years? I'm going to tell you why. Because people are buying for the long haul. Home buyers are planning on staying put longer than ever. The median 10-year purchase is now 15 years, with 28% declaring it'll be their forever home. Those young people who are able to get homes now, they're not leaving. Those people who locked in a 3% interest rate, they're not leaving. They're not doing it. Because if you see things the way they're going, are we really expecting 0%, 3% interest to come back again? That's not something that many people see coming. And lastly, the last thing on here, new home purchases tick up. So when we look at the housing market, in addition to talking about, 50-year mortgages and things like that, these may not be the best solutions to these problems. So now, what can you do in the meantime? I say it every video. It's my catchphrase. Get out of credit card debt, build an emergency fund, simplify your life. Now, what does this have to do with housing? If you saw that earlier, the report, how it mentioned how there are more down payments than ever. Back to reason 3, higher down payments than ever. How are these people making these down payments? Personal savings. So that means that if you're in the position where you're not able to afford a house now, okay, but you know what you can do? If you do have a job, you can Get out of credit card debt. What does that allow you to do? You build an emergency fund, and then it also allows you to build up a savings that you can use for a down payment. It all goes back to that. Staying out of credit card debt, building an emergency fund, and then simplifying your life. Because when you do save up for that down payment, go get a house that you can afford. Go get a house that's not going to kill you. Don't be house poor. All this goes to simplifying. We don't need all of this stuff. We don't. Because look at what is happening. The time of I'm going to flex and I'm going to have all this money and I'm going to do this and do that and be showy for everybody else. You know, in reality, that time never existed for people who were intelligent and wise about their money. For people who said that they wanted to live simple. You can do it. It is within your power. There's a lot of things that are out of our control. All of this that we're looking at going on with the housing market, that's out of our control. But what is in our control is making sure that we live life simply by staying out of credit card debt, building a 6 to 12 month emergency fund, and continuing to simplify our lives. Hey, that's all I got. Comment below. Let me know what you think about this housing market. Let me know what you think are some possible solutions. But until then, hey, y'all have a good day. I'm going to let you go. Have a good one.